Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. You guys know I do a segment called The Hot List Monday through Friday around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. Well, today we're doing things a little different. I give each sponsor of the week the opportunity to sit down with me and answer some questions. I do a segment. Just wanted to make sure that I got volume, so we're good. I give everybody a chance to sit down with me and tell us a little bit about themselves and their backstory, as well as give me some bullet points throughout the week to talk with. Now, not everybody takes me up on the offer to sit in the hot seat and come on camera, answer some questions, and give us some answers to a lot of what people may not know, maybe some misconceptions or misunderstandings. So today I'm sitting here with CJ Shoun of Shounens Commerce, and you guys have heard me kind of talk about it a little bit before about the consumer rebellion. Before we get into that, he's going to educate us on what that is. Before we get into that, I'm going to have him tell us a little bit about himself, kind of his background, and what's got him up to this point.
Well, my wife and I are the owner of Shounens Commerce, and we partner with a company that's nationwide. But I guess my background is I'm from Emporia, moved away, went to high school in Colorado. Long story short, came back to Emporia. My dad and some of my family still lives here, so okay. This is still considered home, right? Wife and I have a 8-year-old son, and my wife's a jeweler for Hellsberg Diamonds. And what else? I volunteer outside of everyday life. I mean, I do a lot with Habitat for Humanity here in the Emporia area. I'm on a couple boards for the city.
Okay.
So anyway, I do enough. I'm like you. I don't say no. I have a problem not saying no.
I've got the same problem. So what have you always been interested in owning your own business and being an entrepreneur, or what is it about this particular company that kind of drew you in? That is it just because of the national exposure?
To answer your question, no, I wasn't always interested or wanting to be an entrepreneur. In fact, from the majority of my life, I didn't know the difference between an entrepreneur and an employee, I guess. And to be fair, I am an employee. I do have a job also. But I think when you look at the benefits of entrepreneurship versus an employee, for one, the easiest one that everybody can understand is the tax laws in the United States are not set up to benefit employees.
Right.
That's just the truth of the matter. So that's option number one, reason number one, I guess. Reason number two would be, if you want to call it freedom, the ability to, whatever that is. For my wife and I, it's the ability to have a strong family, to do what we want, if you will, right? To travel when we want, to have the money that we want. I think as an entrepreneur, you can there is no ceiling, right? There certainly is no floor either. You can surely go backwards, but there's no ceiling to dollar amount, to freedom, to relationships, right? So I think that's when I learned about that is when I started questioning maybe being an employee wasn't necessarily for me.
Okay, I got you. So with making that transition, is it, or has it been easy to recognize and easy to do, or what is it that finally clicked that gave you that motivation to check out the entrepreneur side versus the employee side?
It was a long road, and to be honest with you, I would say I still battle with it. Because as an employee, you have the security of a paycheck, a paycheck. But then you have the security of a company where maybe you aren't the one who's responsible for everything. As an entrepreneur, right, it's my fault. Everything's my fault. And it's my responsibility to to make the money, and it's my responsibility to answer to every question that there is.
Right.
So I still battle with that back and forth of, do you want to be an employee? Do you want to be an entrepreneur? But for me personally, when I saw this concept, this idea, that's what did it for me, and solely that.
Okay. So you brought that up. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit and kind of get into what Shounens Commerce is, and of course what it isn't.
Right, sure. Shounens Commerce is our personal LLC. My wife and I's company trains people, or I should say teaches people about entrepreneurism and what it means to have freedom in life, right? And freedom for everybody, for you and I, is different. For every person could be different. And so we are a training company that teaches people to do things a little different. That's Shounens Commerce. We partner with a company called Bonvera, and Bonvera was created with the idea that you and I spend money every single day. And we also create money for other people every single day. I'll just say it. So there's 3 economies going on in the world right now. In the world, not just America, but the world. You have a gig economy where people are starting to find out that their jobs, or one job or 2 jobs in a family, are not enough. And so they're doing other things, whether it be Uber, whether it be Airbnb, whatever it is. There's plenty of entrepreneurship concepts out there that are allowing people to create a second, third income, right? Then you have social economy, the Facebooks, any of the social media markets are making money off of us, the people.
Right.
Right. You don't. Facebook's free to us because they sell us. Good or bad, indifferent, whatever it is, that's the truth.
And it's not just them, because with them owning Instagram, and YouTube does very much the same thing.
Right.
Now I saw that Zoom is going to be partnering with Facebook today going forward.
Wow. I mean, that's crazy. When you look at Facebook, what do they actually sell? Right? They don't sell anything, but they're worth what? A ton of money.
Yep.
And so anyway, they make money from the community that you and I create, right? Our friends, our family, our business partners, whatever it is. So you have, in America, for sure, you have the gig economy. Then you have the social economy around the world. Then you have the e-commerce platform that is blowing up, right? One of the statistics I sent you the other day, Walmart alone, their e-commerce platform is up 97% within the last year. And the majority of that, obviously, is the last 4 months.
Right. And just that stat alone blew me away when you sent me that, and I was reading through it. I was just like, that's crazy. That's unbelievable, because it's just one of those things that you don't necessarily think about.
Right. And most people don't. You don't realize what is happening because of the pandemic that's happening right now, right? But on top of that, e-commerce penetration in general, just the amount of commerce online is up. I can't remember the exact percentage, but nonetheless, in the last 4 months, we've had over 10 years of growth as far as how many people are on and off retail business online. So anyway, the e-commerce platform is huge. People are making money on it. So you look at what wealthy individuals in the world are doing right now.
Okay.
They're creating communities of people, right? Facebook, YouTube, so on and so forth. They're moving everything to an online platform.
Yep.
Again, good or bad, indifferent, that's your choice. But people are doing it. The wealthy people are doing it. What'd I miss? Communities of people. Oh, and then the gig. A lot of the wealthy people are owning some type of franchise, as they'll sell it, or you get to do this and become an entrepreneur. Multiple problems with that we can discuss later. Anyway, what if someone created a company that combined all 3 of those and made you and I money? What if you could create a franchise concept off of those 3 models that we know are happening, that are just beginning to happen, and anyway, create an income, create a side income, create whatever it is for you, right? anyway, so that's the background to where Bonvera came from.
Okay. Before you go too much further, guys, if you guys have questions, I have my laptop set up here. So any question that you have or you're not fully understanding, as CJ's explaining what the e-commerce is or what Bonvera is, please feel free to drop them in the comments, and we will answer as many of the questions as we possibly can, because I know not everybody's going to be familiar with this or fully grasp what he's trying to explain. I know I didn't the first time he tried to explain it to me. So as you guys have questions, make sure you drop them in the comments section, and he'll be happy to answer. So now that we got that,
Yeah.
I'll have you go. You want to start with going a little bit more into the Bonvera side?
We can, yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, that whole concept we're calling the consumer rebellion.
Okay.
And again, the idea is that somebody, really a very small percentage of people are making a lot of money on what you and I are doing every single day. And this is a topic for discussion. Okay. A lot of people go to work to make somebody else money.
That's a true statement.
It's a very true statement, and it hurts, and it's painful sometimes when you realize that. And then we go home and we buy products that the wealthy people are doing to make them money and to fund their dream, right?
Absolutely.
And then when we get bored, we sit on our phones, our computers, and we create a community that is making somebody else wealthy and making them money and building their dream. So again, I beg the question, what if someone created a company that allowed us to do that for ourselves? So anyway, that's what we're all about in Bonvera. We build communities of people through which products and services flow.
Okay, and this is all e-commerce based.
Yep.
And what is different about Bonvera, the way that you guys do business, versus Amazon or Walmart or Target?
Right. So the main difference is that they and we profit share with each other.
Okay.
So and since you brought those companies up, Walmart and Target, we actually partner with. A lot of times the argument is, well, this looks like fill in the blank. This sounds like fill in the blank, right? Well, first of all, the company's over 4 years old. So that's kind of a good thing, right? Because we got a lot of room to grow. We partner with Walmart, Target, a lot of the boxes. There's like 50 box stores that we partner with. And you would assume that they have lawyers.
Right.
So if someone were to tell me that Bonvera sounds like something that may not be a plausible company, do you think that Walmart or Target or any of those major corporations would partner with something that's not a valid business?
I would have a hard time thinking that they would, especially with the staff of attorneys that I'm sure they have on file.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I bring that up because they profit share with us. Those companies, we can shop on those companies through Bonvera, and they pay us a percentage of profit sharing back at the end of the month. That's one aspect of what Bonvera is. I don't like to touch on products a lot because products change every single day, which is another benefit that Bonvera thought about when they're creating this company, is that a lot of companies in this industry stick to one product, two products, whatever it is.
Right.
Which, when you consider what human beings do over time, they change. Products change, people change. And so you have to create a good business will be in a industry that changes with the people. And so Bonvera is all about going towards the next thing. Okay. We have our own private labels that are everyday consumables that you and I spend money on already. It's already in our budgets. The idea is that someday our direct competition will be the Walmart, the Amazon, because Amazon doesn't profit share with you.
Right.
And we do. And the truth is, Walmart doesn't profit share with you either. But you join our community, you get in business with us, now they do.
Okay, I understand. So with that, how does it work? Because you mentioned that it sounds like, fill in the blank.
Right.
And I don't have to tell that to anybody that's watching this.
Sure.
They all know what that is and what I'm hinting at.
Yep.
And what you're hinting at as well.
Sure.
So what is it that separates you and Bonvera as a whole against something else?
So I heard this one time. This isn't original to me, and my wife and your wife are going to have to forgive me, but I would assume that our wives have similar things, or have things in common with maybe people we've been with before. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. But it's the differences that make the difference for us, and that's why we're married, right?
Yep.
So it's important to talk about when you look at a good business, you have to look at the differences. And there's 3 things that I always tell people, for me, that make the difference of why Bonvera is never been done before. It's not created equal, okay? And the first one is the corporation themselves can only profit 10%.
Wow.
They are capped at 10% profit. The second thing is we have what we call the ICAA, which... we have the ICAA, and then the other side of it is the way we're built, right? We are a team concept. You don't get started in business and I say, hey, thanks, have a good day, right? It's very interactive. We build together. It benefits everybody to grow the business. Okay. Much like the more people who walk in the door at Walmart, the more profit they make. Okay. The more people that walk into Bonvera, the more profit we make, and that's shared. I want to back up to the ICAA. When businesses are created, and Burger King's a great example of this. When Burger King got started, there were a ton of franchisees, right, who got together. Burger King sold them their product.
Right.
Long story short, the franchisees found out that they were overpricing things. They were skyrocketing the prices just so Burger King Corporation could make money. Okay, that's when they created the franchise group. Well, I'm trying to remember what it's called. Anyway, there's a National Franchise Association. Okay, and anyway, so that created the Franchise Association, which then went to Burger King and said, hey, you're not helping us, you're making this worse. And then they were able to have a voice against Burger King Corporation. Okay, any other company starts the company, creates a board that then governs that supposedly governs the company.
Right.
But when you create the company, you have the control. So what Bonvera did was basically the opposite. They said, we are a group of entrepreneurs. We are a group of people who want a business to do what we want them to do. So the ICAA was created to be a sounding voice between us, the entrepreneurs, and the corporation.
Okay.
And basically, the long story short of it is there is a contract between the ICAA and Bonvera Corporation that says basically you're going to do what we want.
Okay.
There's not very many other companies that you can go in to the owners and say, I don't like it that way. We're going to do it this way. Anyway, long story short, that's how it's set up. The other important thing is I should mention is that, look, there's a lot of marketing companies out there. There's a lot. But is what you're doing going to create a residual income? And maybe it's not, and maybe you're okay with that, and that's fine. I'm not shaming on any of that. But for me and my wife, our idea was to create an income. There's a saying that says, if you don't make money while you sleep, you will work till you die.
Absolutely.
And I think if this statistic is wrong, I'm sorry, but it's pretty close. 2% of Americans retire happy. 2%.
That's probably, well, and I would say it's pretty accurate because I believe it's 76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck.
Right. So if that's the case, why do we continue to do that?
It's just what we've known. We don't know any better, or we don't know how to escape it.
Right. Anyway, I get long-winded and off track, so I apologize. But I get pretty fired up about this idea. So my point was, Bonvera, in most businesses in this industry, they have an arbitration clause, which basically says it takes away your constitutional right.
Okay.
Bonvera does not have that. So you at any point can go, I don't want to say against the corporation, but if any point anything bad happens and you don't like it, you have a sounding voice with the ICAA to speak to Bonvera. And most, in fact, I think every other marketing company out there takes away that right. And you are owned by the company. Your business is owned by the company. Bonvera is your business. Shounens Commerce for me is willable. It's estatable. If you pass on, your family takes it and runs with it. That doesn't happen in almost any other one.
Okay, so take us through some of what I know there's a number of products that you could talk about or go into. What is it that you would like to educate people that are watching this? And for those that are watching, thank you guys. Make sure you guys share this out. This has been so far absolutely amazing, and I want to keep going a little bit deeper. But as you guys are watching, make sure that you share this out. Whatever platform you're watching it on, share it out. Tag your friends, because people need to hear this, because this gives people an opportunity that they may not otherwise get in their lifetime. So what is it that you would like people to know about Bonvera? Is it just the difference? Is it the products? Is it the opportunity?
I would say that we don't have enough time to go through everything, right? Because when you're dealing with human beings, there's a lot. And this, what I like about this business, for me personally, was that it's about changing lives and making your life better, whatever that means to you, right? Whether it's healthy, wealthy, wise, right? That's the whole gamut, right? We want to make a life better. And sometimes that's not money. Sometimes people have money and they don't need more, but they don't have good relationships and they don't have time, right? So I like that Bonvera figures out how to create time and money in people's lives. As far as products goes, we have access to 70 million products. About. I haven't counted all of them. Sorry. But as far as the core line of products that we carry, right? For instance, private label, highest profit margin products out there. Hence the reason you find great value in Walmart more now than you do some name brands.
Absolutely.
Right. So Bonvera has the same thing. We have private label products. There's three industries, if you will, that we started with: anti-aging, health and wellness, and energy. Those at the time that Bonvera was created, those were the top selling SKUs in the United States. And so that's where we started. As far as quality goes, that's another big thing that we talk about a lot, right? What you find in grocery stores, what you find in the market, for all different things, are not necessarily regulated by doctors.
Right.
I'm trying to do this carefully so I don't upset anybody. But anyway, but we want to have clean, healthy food. I think one of the things I sent to you was prevention is cheaper than after the fact.
Correct.
Right? And so when we really teach, take care of yourself, take care of your body. What you put in directly affects what comes out, and that's mentally, physically, everything.
Absolutely. And I know I have tried some of these products myself. The anti-aging, my wife tried, absolutely loves, which reminds me I probably got to order more. But I have also tried some of the energy as well. There's energy drinks that are more kind of coffee based versus the energy and the sugar. And there is a sleep aid.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank on the name, but I've tried that. And
yeah, Calm and Clear is
that's it.
It's a magnesium supplement, and most of the products that we have in our private label are actually vetted out by a doctor who owns a practice. He owns 2 different practices, and he's what's called a functional medicine doctor, which, by the way, Bonvera also partners with, so you can go to the doctor and get paid for it. So if you ever wanted to be a doctor, I'm not saying you can be through Bonvera, but you can make money from it. So anyway,
awesome.
he profit shares with us also. So in fact, I go to the doctor and make money every month. So it's pretty cool. But he vets out the majority of our products. And functional medicine is all about solving problems, not using Band-Aids.
Okay. And so what is it that, I mean, what vision do you have with Shounens Commerce and Bonvera? I guess let's start right there first.
I'll tell you what my mission is. This has become my mission over the last couple of years, probably, for some reasons that some people know that we don't need to go into. But my life goal has become to help families become families again, and again, that's different for every person. Okay, but I believe that we live in a society that is pulling families apart rather than bringing them together. Arguably, COVID maybe has changed that a little bit, but that's not a good reason. Right? It's not a good reason for me. And so I believe that husbands can be better husbands, wives can be better wives, couples can get stronger, and we can get as deep as you want. But at the core of it, for me, we as a society has forgotten what love is. Anyway, so long story short, I want families to be families again. I want to bring people closer to each other. I want neighbors to be able to walk out of the door and wave at each other. And in my opinion, the best way to do that is to create a relationship with someone and sit in their living room and change their life.
That's awesome. So you brought up COVID and what's been going on right now. What have you done, or has Bonvera done since COVID has come out to adapt, not only at this point, but for the future of the company?
We have done a lot, to be honest with you. A lot of companies out there are in trouble, right? And that's from top to bottom. Employees to owners are struggling. Bonvera has gone the other way. I mean, we are 100% growing. In fact, when this whole thing started, our CEO got on the phone and said, we need hand sanitizer. Boom. Had hand sanitizer on the website in our private label within a couple of weeks, I think. It might have been a month. But anyway.
That's still pretty good.
That's still pretty good. And in the last 4 months, I think we've released 6 or 8 new products in our private label brand during this. That's from the corporation side of it. Shounens Commerce as a whole, I think it's more and more evident that we need to do something different in America, in the world. Now, I keep saying world, by the way, because we are going international. I won't say any more than that, but it's happening. And COVID has shown me that we're not ready. We do not have families that are stable. And in my opinion, and I've been in this boat, still am to an extent, if you are relying on someone else for your income, you're not a stable family.
I think most people would agree with that. Most people watching this would, I feel, agree with that as well.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, look how many people were laid off, let go, furloughed, whatever happened to them, and were they compensated? They were to a certain extent, but not the full amount like they were if they were working full time.
So let's look at it this way. During COVID, Amazon, Walmart, all of those and Target today, I haven't looked at the numbers, but they just released their Q2 results, and it was skyrocketed. All of those companies were making money. Okay, Jeff Bezos is the most wealthiest person in the world now. let's look at this number. This is what gets me excited. Okay, $1 billion could be 100,000 families making $100,000 a year. Okay, Jeff Bezos personally is 165 of those $1 billion. Where did he make his money? The stuff that you and I buy every single day,
Yep.
once a month, once a year, whatever it is. So if $1 billion could give that many families that much money, why couldn't someone create a franchise concept, because we are a franchise concept, that pays those 100,000 families $100,000 a year? Same money, same profit margin, same products, if you will, to an extent.
Right.
Right? But we just share the money differently. Solves a lot of problems.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and I think that is something that people may not grasp right away. So I hope that those of you that are watching just heard what he just had to say. And that's a powerful statement for any of us to think about. And I know that you brought up international. You couldn't go into much more detail. But is there something new and exciting in the Bonvera world that is coming up in the future that you are able to share with us?
I can actually share part of the international statement, and that's Canada. We are right around the corner from. We can, if I recall correctly, we can have customers in Canada now. Entrepreneurship will be coming shortly, and more to come following. But anyway, what was the other part of your question? I forgot. Oh, new and exciting.
Yeah,
new and exciting. The one statement I'll say, and I'm repeating this again from our CEO, is very soon, I think at the beginning of the year, Bonvera is launching something that will directly compete with Amazon. Whatever that is to you, use your imagination. But I want to point out that Bonvera is not a business that is trying to compete with marketing companies. We are publicly stating that we are trying to compete someday, to an extent, Walmart, Amazon, the major corporations that we all fund. We think we can shift the profit sharing.
And so, but it's just a different way to kind of compete with them, and
Sure.
by empowering the consumer themselves.
Sure, and the truth is, if you own a business, you're going to do your best to shop from yourself before shopping from somebody else. And so if all of us, okay, let me back up. The average American spends $1,500 a month on consumable products. Average. Okay? If you have a business and you own a business where the majority of that $1,500 comes through your own business, you know that you will shop through yourself first.
Right.
And so if we create a franchise concept using that data, that statistic, what are the possibilities? I mean, it's endless.
Crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, I could go forever, but I mean, the real goal is Americans and people of the world are struggling. We're not doing it right. We're seeing that more and more every single day. So we need to do something different.
Awesome. Is there anything else that I've missed or I haven't asked that you want to share with everybody watching this that you want them to know?
I'm sure there's plenty that we missed, but really, what I want to say is, if you're happy in your life, that's amazing. Do what you're doing. If you're not, don't be afraid to reach out and do something different. And maybe working with Bonvera, working with my wife and I with Shounens Commerce isn't the right answer, but it may be a step in the right direction, because I think that a lot of we as people, as human beings right now, are stuck. The majority of Americans don't even dream about having a different life because they don't feel like it can be different, but it can. And don't be afraid to reach out. I'm sure Matt I can post my email in the comments.
Absolutely.
But feel free to reach out to any of us. There's crazy things that are coming.
That's awesome. Anything else you want to add in closing?
I'm great. I'm sure we'll have questions.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for this week's episode of The Hot Seat. Thank you guys so much for watching. As you guys watch this, continue to watch this on the live replay, share this out, tag somebody, send it to somebody that may benefit from this, or maybe open to some more information about working for themselves. There's definitely that possibility out there. So thank you again for joining, sitting down with me, and be willing to come on camera live, no less.
Hey, I'm not afraid. I told you we'd go for it and see what happens.
That's right.
Here we are.
So thank you guys for watching this episode of The Hot List with Matt in the Hat, Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have an awesome rest of the week. And if you have any questions, please reach out. Take care.